Hey everyone, I'm Jason from Wedding Film School. Today we're sharing a behind the scenes video created by Jesse at Marry Me Movies. This is the first guest video we're hosting on the channel. If you've got your own ideas for creating content and sharing it on Wedding Film School, please visit the website and register your interest. Next week I'll be sharing a behind the scenes that I personally shot in Melbourne, Australia. It's over an hour long and covers the entire wedding day from start to finish. Thanks for watching.
Hey, my name is Jesse and today I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes of one of our typical wedding days. A big thank you to Jason from Wedding Film School for having me on the channel today. So I want to show you behind the scenes of a wedding today, but I also want to show you how we built our studio into over 150 weddings per year and also how we made over $500,000 in revenue. So I want to break everything down for you, but instead of being that guy in the corner talking to a camera kind of awkwardly, I'm probably just going to narrate over a lot of the footage when I'm back in the studio. This will be the easiest and most relaxed way to shoot weddings, which in our experience really brings out the best in people. So to thank you for sticking around until the end of the video, I'm also going to share some secrets on how we grew our business into 150 weddings per year and how we had 15 staff all over Australia helping us out. So if you've got any questions, just leave those down in the comments below. I hope you find today really helpful, but just a quick disclaimer that we're not that great in front of the lens. Hey guys, my name is Max.
Wow, you really are.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, I'm Max.
And my name is Jesse, and together we run the wedding studio Marry Me Movies. On average, we do between 80 to 150 weddings per year.
Today we're filming at the Gibraltar Hotel for a pretty common Western wedding. And I think something to touch on as well, probably pretty important, is when you first introduce yourself to a couple. Obviously, you might have never even met them before or had a Skype with them. You might not even know what they look like at that point. So it's always kind of a good thing to get in there, put the camera gear down and kind of introduce yourself as a human being rather than, you know, the guy with the camera or whatever. That way you can establish more of a personal relationship with that person before you get into more of a professional sort of layout.
So we normally film the groomsmen first, but today we're actually doing the bridal preps. So bridal preps can really be broken down into 3 different steps. The first is just documenting what's happening. So that's really just documenting what's happening on the morning. So that could be things like the bride reading a letter from the groom. It could be her getting into a dress, talking with the girls and laughing and having a great time, maybe hugging her parents. Anything that's happening on the day, you want to make sure that you're capturing that. Then there's capturing the extra shots of all the important people. So I really try to focus on the bride's parents. If she's not interacting with them, I'll say, hey guys, now that the bride's got her dress on, can I get you guys over there in the corner? Hey, why don't you guys hug each other? Maybe even dad, can you give her a kiss on the cheek or something like that? A really nice fun thing to do is to set up a bit of a first look with the parents. So this can especially be really nice for the dad when he hasn't seen his daughter all dressed up in her dress with hair and makeup on. When she comes out of that door looking like $1 million, he's probably going to get a little bit emotional, which is amazing footage for us on the day. So you also want to capture extra shots of the maid of honor, if she's got sisters or brothers, anyone in the family or anyone you think is important. This is going to be especially important if they're doing a speech later that night and they say something amazing. You're going to be able to overlay that footage of them in the morning, hugging the bride and laughing and having an amazing time. And that's going to mean that your footage with that speech running underneath it is really going to be that much more powerful. So we shoot in a candid and natural style. So that means that we're not going to be asking people to say, okay guys, on the count of 3, I want you to laugh now, because essentially that never works. And while when you're looking through that footage, you're going to see people laughing and smiling and having a great time, the bride or groom is going to see themselves laughing uncomfortably. So it's pretty much always better to try and tee up a moment where they're going to be laughing naturally. So the other really important thing to remember when you're at the brides in the morning is you want to be keeping an eye on the time, because you have to get to the ceremony a little bit early. You want to get there early so that you can get shots of the setup that they have there, but you also want to get there early so that you can get all of your sound set up. You want to go straight to the celebrant, introduce yourself, figure out what microphone and speaker setup they're using for the ceremony. So it really depends on the timings of the day and how far the preparations are from the ceremony, but obviously you need to set aside a little bit of time to get shots of the outside, get a few establishing shots, and anything else that really kind of stands out to you, anything that's pretty. So we normally start with the boys in the morning because we can get them done a lot quicker. So just like the bridal preparations, the groomsmen can be also broken down into 3 different steps. First of all, I want to document what's happening. Then you want to be getting, just like the bridal preps, the cinematic shots of certain things. So that would be things like the groom's jacket. The groom will have the rings usually in the morning. Kind of just open it up slightly. Yeah, sweet, just to see your kilts and the belts and stuff. Let's go from closed, nice and like close together, yeah, and then just open it up a little bit. Perfect. Sweet. So how we like to do it is I usually get everyone together in the morning before they've got their jackets on, and I get a shot of them having a beer or a whiskey and all doing a bit of a cheers and having a laugh. I ask them to tell me about, hey, what's one of the groom's most embarrassing memories? Oh, wow, I can't believe he did that. Things like that. So then we ask everyone to get ready. I'll ask for the best man to go up to the groom and do the finishing touches like putting on his jacket, fixing up his tie, or maybe helping him with his cufflinks. Obviously, he's an important person in the groom's life, so we want to be getting lots of shots of him. So essentially what we're doing is running 3 sources of audio for the ceremony. We want 1 lapel on the groom, 1 lapel on the celebrant, and we also want to be tapped into the celebrant's PA system so that we have 3 sources just in case anything fails. Okay, so we're just plugging this into a little Zoom. Okay, so we're just going to test to see if everything's working. One, two, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm pretty sure they're low battery. One, two, 2, 2. And I use auto levels for this because I really don't want to be stressing about somebody peaking or being too quiet. Test it with the microphone to make sure it's working and there isn't any distortion or hissing or other weirdness. So for the ceremony, you want to mic up the celebrant or priest with a Tascam DR10L, and this is an amazing thing to use because it's auto leveling and it records 2 tracks. So we just need to go talk to someone and see if they can replace the batteries in the microphone, because this thing is flat.
Sorry, do they take? What ones?
I think it's just 1 AA. Cool, okay, sweet. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test. 1, 2. Cool, I'm just gonna do a little test on this to make sure everything's working. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test. 1, 2. So do the same thing for the groom, also mic him up. And that way you've got 3 sources of audio for the day. Then once your audio is 100%, you can start getting shots of the ceremony, the setup, little flowers, maybe scenery in the area and that kind of thing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2. Perfect, we're good to go.
Wash over me, let me fall from my surroundings. Take over me, over every rushing memory. If only for a moment. Oh, this could be my last chance.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and faithfulness. As I place it on your finger, I commit my heart and life to you. I ask you to wear this ring as a reminder of the vows we have spoken today.
Talk to me from the lungs of the air your heart is breathing. If only for a moment. Oh, this could be my last chance. In the grip of your arms, fall from where I am.
So right after the exit, you want to be capturing shots of people congratulating the couple and giving them hugs and that kind of thing. Right after is usually the family photos. So we don't really need to be there for the family photos, but if you record the family photo session, it's more of an insurance for the day. So in the past, we've been at weddings where the photographer has forgotten to get a photo of a certain combination of families. So we actually took a still out of our video and gave that to the couple, and they really loved it. We've also had times in the past where somebody's passed away, like one of the grandparents or somebody else unexpectedly. Having the moments from the family session is really insurance because you're able to put a shot of them, which might be one of the last shots that person ever got, and you can put that into your highlight film. So now we're on to the photography session, and this is really the funnest part of the day. So this is where you get to get all of your cinematic shots, get shots of the couple laughing and having fun, kissing against the sunset, and all that kind of stuff. So there's a bit of a secret sauce and a bit of a method to the madness when it comes to capturing amazing moments at the photo session. Everyone's going to do this differently, but myself and a lot of other videographers like to go with questions, fun little kind of almost theater games. So you want to be putting them in situations where they're going to be talking to each other, telling an amazing story, laughing, or feeling a lot of love between one another. So I like to start really slow. I'll get them to do things like walking away from the camera, walking towards the camera. Hey guys, go stand underneath that amazing tree. I'm going to get some shots of you just talking, holding hands, maybe kissing and that kind of thing. But my favorite part of the day is when I get to get in really close and start doing little games with them. So obviously this is totally dependent on what type of people you have. If you have more conservative people, then obviously don't do this, do something else. But I've got a bit of an arsenal of different little games and things that I can play with people to make them laugh or, you know, kiss each other and that kind of thing. So one of the games that I like to play is called the whisper game. So I get people to get really, really close together, and then I'll get the, say for example, the bride to whisper in the groom's ear. I'll say, whisper into the ear that's farthest away from me so that we can see the groom's face. Now, I want you to say, you know, if the groom were an animal, what would he be and why? But when you do that, I want you to whisper it as quietly as possible. So I like to give them a little example, so I can say, if the groom were an animal, and it can be anything. It could be, he's really lazy, so like he's a bear. Or it can be like, oh, he's really late to things. He reminds me of like an axolotl or some random shit like that. Fraser, you get to do the same thing. So whispering to Bex here, favorite vegetable in your most porn star possible voice, and I want you to like really just get into it. Like you got to sell it. And that's usually a little bit fun because the bride will be whispering it so quietly that the groom is almost kind of waiting in suspense. So when the bride will say something that the groom really likes, he's most likely going to laugh or at least smile or something like that. So then we'll reverse the situation, so it's now the groom's turn to do that to the bride. And that can be a really nice way of just getting a few different laughing shots and getting people kind of holding each other. So there's a million different ways to be going about this kind of thing, so it's really up to you to muck around and have a bit of fun with the couple and get them to smile and laugh and kiss and that kind of thing.
Straight up there, you reckon?
I'll follow you guys walking out that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I popped it.
And go for it.
So when you get to the reception, you want to go talk to the DJ or the MC and just figure out which mic they're going to be using for the speeches and the reception entrance. The really important thing is that you want to be doing a test on that mic just to see if there's any hissing or static or anything like that, so that you have amazing clear audio when it comes to speeches and the reception entrance.
Sorry to bother you, man. I just wanted to ask you whether you found out whether the best sound was going through you or going through their system on the deck over there.
Well, I haven't even told them, but we're doing both. So
We're doing both,
I've
yep.
just tuned my receiver to the same frequency.
Yep,
So I've got some control here.
yep,
So basically the mic's going through both.
yep.
Oh, cool.
Any suggestion on which one will be easier for us to monitor, or
I'd say probably
the
that
decks
one.
over there? Yep.
There's a 6.5 millimeter output on the back.
Yep.
I would probably
Go
plug
through that
into
one? Yeah, sure, no worries.
So how we like to do that is I usually put a Rode Filmmaker kit straight into the soundboard so that the sound is going wirelessly into my camera, and that just means that I don't have to sync it up in post. Now, if I can't do that for whatever reason, I usually like to plug a zoom on audio level straight into the soundboard, and then I also like to have a backup, and I'll just put one of those Tascam DR10Ls and I'll let that kind of drape over the speaker, just so that way I've got two different sources of audio when it comes to the speeches and those are kind of important moments.
So what we're going to do is put a 3.5mm cable, and then we're putting this 1/4 inch adapter on the top of it, and we're going to put this into the phones out. And I'm just going to do a little test to make sure that we can actually hear ourselves. Okay, so the sound for the reception entrance and the speeches is just going to be going through this microphone, and there's going to be somebody at the lectern up there. That sound is then going through the board that we've just plugged into. We have a Rode Filmmaker kit plugged into the system, which is then being sent into this camera and in through the microphone port. Mic 1 2 2 2 2, test 1 2. And I'm going to record. So I'm going to record what my camera is recording right now, so you can understand the quality of when you patch straight into the board. So this is me testing it. Mic test 1 2 2 2 2, test. So it sounds really, really clean. Cool, okay.
Now we're back doing the reception details. So pretty much all we want to be doing here is going through and getting details of the tables, any of the details that are on the tables.
So a really big tip for the reception is make sure you talk to your couple beforehand about when you're going to be starting and finishing on the night. Some couples kind of randomly expect you to be there until 12 o'clock, even if you've been booked for a certain amount of hours. We always talk to our couples and confirm that, say for example, we're going to be finishing at 9:30. If we go over by like 20 minutes or something like that, that's totally fine. We're not going to charge you for that. But when it starts to go over more than 30 minutes, that's when we start to charge in half-hour chunks. So it's important to tell them how much that's going to be, how much you cost per hour, and if they want to add on extra hours on the night, how can they do that?
I know you've both put a lot of hard work and effort into getting everything ready for today, and it's been amazing and emotional. Even the cake is in tears. That was the bad joke. That was good.
Just empty words. I'm ready to be honest and show you that my heart is yours. I live forever, trying with it, down and tethered through it all. Don't give up, let me go. One more chance and I won't let you down. How do I say that I'm the only one for you? How do I stop? How do I change when I keep turning down the wrong lane?
So if your time's up and you've got all the shots that you need to get of people dancing, the bride and groom having fun and all that kind of thing, go up to the bride and groom, give them a hug and a kiss, say thank you so much for having me. You guys were amazing today. Congratulations, and I'm wishing you guys all the best. We'll be in touch with the final films, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. And that's it, you're finished. So you can go home knowing you've captured a pretty amazing result. To say thanks for sticking in till the end of this film, I'm going to give you those 2 tips on how we grew our business to 150 weddings. So if you want to see the extended film with more tips on how to grow your business, you can go to my channel, which is just Jesse Peacock, my name. So if you're just starting out, tell your friends and family that you want to start filming weddings or photographing weddings, whatever you want to do. Post amazing pictures or little snippets that you've captured on your social media. Really, you're marketing to your friends and family. So how to convince people that you're good enough to film their weddings? You don't really have to. There's always a market for everything. If you've got no experience, there will be people saying, oh, I've seen you hold a video camera before. Come film my wedding. And if your friends and family need extra convincing, go take your boyfriend or girlfriend out to a forest, get some beautiful cinematic shots at golden hour, and basically replicate the kind of shots that they would be seeing in wedding films. Now, if you want to really turbocharge kind of your growth and getting more opportunities to film weddings, go and contact every single wedding filmmaker or photographer and just say, hey guys, I don't necessarily want to film, I just want to come help you carry gear or really just assist you in any way on the day. People like me and people who run other studios always need an extra pair of hands on a big wedding day. Once you've kind of worked your way up the ladder a little bit, ask people, hey, can I second shoot for you on the day? Can I just get a second angle? And you really just want to be there absorbing how the day goes, what a normal wedding day really looks like, and what's kind of expected from a shooter on the day. So you really want to follow up with the filmmaker and see what they did with that footage that they shot on the day. What did their film look like? What did the highlight look like? What did the teaser look like? What did the full-length documentary cut look like? The filmmaker is probably going to be really busy, so you don't necessarily want to say, hey, that wedding that you shot a few months ago, can I see all of the details? You really just want to be checking their Vimeo page, their YouTube page, or even their Facebook or something like that. Once you have a really good relationship with those people, you can start to ask, hey, that footage that I shot on the day, do you mind if I cut that together and create my own little highlight reel? Start posting all of that stuff on your own social media. You're going to be getting friends and family contacting you all the time to film their wedding days. So for everybody else who's already established, who doesn't really need that advice, one of the easiest way to grow your clientele is through Facebook and Instagram ads. So you want to go into the Facebook ad manager, which also manages the Instagram side of things. You can create A/B campaigns. So you can have 5 different ideas of ads with different pictures, videos, and that kind of thing. And you can actually see which one of those ads people are clicking on the most. Obviously, tweak your campaigns and do what's right for you. When we were going to wedding expos, we would only book, let's say, 10 jobs from that. We met this duo, these 2 girls who were running a videography business, and they booked, I think it was 80 weddings per year just from Facebook ads at the time. So the Facebook, Instagram ad platform is really powerful. You just need to put a bit of time and effort behind it. If you want a bit more of a breakdown of that, you can go to my channel, and I'm going to be releasing a video about that pretty soon. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was useful to you. If you've got any questions, you can leave those in the comments down below, and I'm going to be reading those and trying to answer them. But if you've got any more extra questions, just contact me on social media and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, which is just my name, Jesse Peacock. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you soon.